She was smiling in her wedding dress. The next minute she was fighting to breathe. If I had spoken sooner, maybe none of it would have happened. I grew up in a small African village where everybody knew everybody. 2 sisters lived only a few houses away from mine. Their father died when they were young, so their mother raised them alone. The older sister, Grace, always wanted to be first in everything. She wanted the best clothes, the best food, and all the attention. The younger sister, Ruth. She was kind, hardworking, and respectful. She helped old people, shared food with hungry children, and never spoke badly about anyone. That was why everyone in the village loved her. One year, a wealthy businessman named Daniel came to our village to build a clean water project. He met many people, but he could not stop thinking about Ruth. He said her kindness was worth more than all the money in the world. After a few months, he asked her to marry him. The whole village celebrated the good news. Everyone looked happy, except Grace. She smiled in front of people, but whenever Ruth turned away, the smile disappeared. I could see the jealousy growing inside her every day. The night before the wedding, the whole family gathered to prepare food. Women cooked in large pots while children played outside. Music filled the compound, and everyone was excited for the next morning. I went behind the kitchen to collect firewood. That was when I saw Grace. She looked around to make sure nobody was watching. Then she took a small bottle from her pocket and poured something into the pot of soup. When she noticed me standing there, she quickly smiled. "It's only medicine," she said. I believed her. That is the biggest mistake I have ever made. The next morning, Ruth looked beautiful in her white wedding dress. The guests had arrived. Daniel stood proudly at the front, waiting for the woman he loved. Then, without warning, Ruth grabbed her stomach. She fell to the ground. Foam appeared around her mouth. People screamed. The music stopped. The wedding was over before it even began. She was rushed to the hospital, but the doctors could not explain what was wrong. Some people believed she had a strange sickness. Others whispered that someone had cursed her. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. Ruth became very weak. Some days she could barely stand. But Daniel never left her. He visited her every week. He paid every hospital bill. He told everyone he would wait as long as it took. Grace pretended to be the perfect sister. She cried in front of visitors, cooked for Ruth, and acted like she cared. But every time I looked at her, I remembered that small bottle. I wanted to tell someone, but I had no proof. I was afraid nobody would believe me. 5 years later, the truth finally came out. Grace's little son was playing inside her room when he found an old wooden box hidden under the bed. Inside was the same small bottle I had seen years before Grace came home. The little boy showed the notebook to his grandmother. She opened it. As she turned the pages, her face became pale. One sentence was written clearly. "I only wanted Daniel to love me instead." Another page said, "The poison was supposed to make Ruth too sick to marry." The room became silent. At that moment, I finally told everyone what I had seen behind the kitchen on the night before the wedding. This time, people believed me. Grace could not deny it anymore. She broke down crying and admitted everything. She said she never wanted Ruth to die. She only wanted to stop the wedding and take Daniel for herself. But her jealousy had stolen 5 years of her sister's life. The police arrested her, and the court later found her guilty. After doctors finally learned what had happened, Ruth slowly became stronger. One afternoon, after Grace was sentenced, Ruth visited her in prison. Grace cried harder than anyone I had ever seen. "I don't deserve your forgiveness," she whispered. Ruth looked at her quietly. "No," she said softly. "But I don't want hate to live in my heart forever." A year later, Ruth and Daniel finally had the wedding they had dreamed about. The whole village celebrated again. There was music, there was dancing, but one empty chair reminded everyone of the years that jealousy had stolen. Even today, whenever I hear wedding music, I remember that morning when Ruth fell to the ground. I still wish I had spoken sooner, because sometimes, the person smiling beside you is hiding a secret that can destroy an entire family.